It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC North. It's the Vikings and the Packers, next on Madden NFL 22.
This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings.
Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers, because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And off we go from Lambeau. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. As we get a peek at Brett Hundley, the former UCLA Bruin, he'll be the man under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early, because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage, came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Dean Lowry, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So the Packers offense backed up here to begin their first drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now it's Rodgers. Able to find Isabella. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd and 6. To throw is Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, you know, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Dominate today.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Mike 5'9".
A give to Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4th.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play, but it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
A 22-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down, Hundley. Out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that could spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Handoff comes to Cook. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a 1st down. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Second and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. This one caught by Isabella. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 4.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
And again, it's Rodgers. Touchdown. That's caught. Aaron Jones. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Hundley. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Hundley. And that's taken in. It's B.C. Johnson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Hundley. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
All right, say it with me now. There's a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw again. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Again, he'll drop to throw. And Cook has it, left side. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, That may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella.
Let's go! Let's go!
Well, the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. From the 29, Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, that's complete right side to Lazard. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds.
First down, Vikings.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They'll look to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will have a Vikings 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Back to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Pushing through the contact. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Fielded just inside the 20, and he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6, and it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That's it. Big hit.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They run it again with Cook. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Yeah, not a great one there. Out of bounds in the air. And the offense is going to be set up already in enemy territory inside the 45.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Just a yard to go here on second down.
You can't block me. You can't.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
70 yards on the ground for him so far. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
Let's go, defense.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
And they run the option on second down.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now Jones. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They'll look to run with Dillon, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A.J. Dillon punching it in from a yard away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
show his slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 10, and time, a huge factor. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete. It's Cook. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Back to throw now on first down. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well. And that would appear to be a face mask.
Hey, we don't need no more penalties right here.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Being chased out left. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough,